Democrats and some in the media are raising the alarm and warning that President Trump may fire Special Counsel Robert Mueller. This, despite the Trump administration's repeated denials of the possibility. Watch.
Firing Mr. Mueller or any other of the top brass involved in this investigation would not only call into question this administration's commitment to the truth, but also to our most basic concept, rule of law.
Do you feel the integrity honoring? No, I'm not.
He wants to shut down these investigations, and he wants to fire Special Counsel Mueller.
I want to ask you personally what your reaction would be if the president tried to or did fire the special prosecutor.
I think, John, there would be an uprising and a revolt.
For the 1,000th time, we have no intentions of firing Bob Mueller.
Here now is Alex Conant, a Republican strategist who served as the communications director for Marco Rubio's presidential campaign, and Jessica Tarlov, author of America in the Age of Trump and a Fox News contributor. Thanks to both of you for joining us.
Hi.
Alex, this is a story that won't go away.
It really won't. You know, I spend my days here in Washington talking to reporters. That's what I do for a living. And I can tell you the Mueller investigation is the #1 most talked about topic in Washington. And what a lot of reporters say, they don't necessarily report it, but I think what a lot of reporters think is that Jared Kushner did something wrong. Mueller will indict Jared Kushner for it, and the president will fire Mueller because he doesn't want to see his son-in-law prosecuted. That's the theory. There's a lot of ifs there, but I think that is feeding a lot of this. And so reporters, the correspondents, they just want to get Republicans on the record saying what they would do if the president fired Mueller.
But that's what would you do, you know, if it snowed in August, Jessica?
It's such a hypothetical.
I mean, it's so you can ask any kind of question that you want if you don't have this person who was in the room said that he's considering it. I mean, this is another one of those stories where you don't have someone in the room on the record saying that this happened. And in fact, you have just the opposite. You know, the White House saying again and again, no, emphatically. There's nothing you can even read into their statements. What do you think, Jessica?
Well, I think what they're going off on is actually what members of the Trump administration, the president himself, conservative pundits, conservatives in the House are doing, which is to undermine the Mueller investigation. You had just this week, the Trump's lawyer said that Mueller illegally obtained emails during the transition. That's absolutely not true. You have Bob Mueller being called a bad manager. You have calls for a second special counsel. I mean, all of this adds up to creating the sentiment in the public that Bob Mueller is just a liberal lackey. And we also know that he's a Republican, and Christopher Wray, as well as a Republican who's even donated to Republican causes. They took the Peter Strzok text messages, which I myself took issue with, certainly the one about the insurance policy, to make it out as if the FBI is full of liberals who love Hillary Clinton.
Let me go back to Alex, because Jessica didn't say anything just now about evidence that President Trump wants to fire Robert Mueller. And in fact, if you're talking about so if you're talking about undermining
that's what they're
the
doing.
Investigation, it actually gins it up more, Alex. I mean, it makes it seem more intense and more valuable and more nefarious if he's saying he wants to fire him. I mean, it's having the opposite impact.
Well, look, I think anyone who supports President Trump would recognize what a terrible idea firing Bob Mueller would be for the reason you just said. Not only would it cause a constitutional crisis because congressional Republicans would be outraged, but the public would immediately assume that Mueller has something, that there's something there. That is why the White House is cooperating 100% with the Mueller investigation. There have been no complaints from the Mueller's team that the White House is not cooperating at any point. Why? Because the moment the president and the White House stop cooperating, the public will just assume that there is something there.
But don't you guys think that there's something troubling about the negative comments that are coming out of the Trump team about the investigation?
I'm going to stop you right there, because I think what it is exactly what you said. It's people saying that he wants to fire him because it is a way to make it seem like there is more there. It would be so stupid to fire him because it would make it look like he's trying to hide
I agree
something.
that it would be stupid to fire him, but if you undermine him enough, if you say fake news enough, that if something does come down, if those reporters get their way and Jared Kushner is going to be indicted, then the Trump team can say it was biased, this is off, this isn't reality. Maybe you have a pardon coming.
That's not about these rumors that he's going to fire Mueller.
He can't fire him because the entire world would explode about that. But he can continue to undermine him and the credibility of the intelligence community and specifically the FBI in case something does happen.
All right. Thanks to both of you. I think
Merry
we
Christmas.
solved it. Yeah,
Merry Christmas.
Solved it.